Fans of Emmerdale have been shocked after realizing where they had previously seen actress Caroline Harker. The 60-year-old actress is currently portraying the scheming Dr Caitlin Todd in the long-running ITV drama. Dr Todd has spent months making life difficult for her trainee, Jacob Sugden, eventually pushing him to file an official complaint with HR. The manipulative medic has now shifted her focus onto Charity Dingle after uncovering that Jacob's baby daughter, Leyla, is not biologically his. Instead, the child is actually Charity's daughter with Ross Barton. Todd originally demanded £10,000 to keep the secret hidden, but later increased the blackmail amount to £100,000 after discovering Charity owns half of the Woolpack pub. As the pressure mounts, Charity has started looking for someone willing to buy her share of the business, while Todd continues to issue threats. During Monday's episode on May 18th, Todd gave Charity a strict deadline of 1 week to hand over the money. When Charity begged her to leave her house, Todd chillingly warned that she had no idea what she was capable of. The storyline continues in Tuesday's May 19th episode, now streaming on ITVX. In the installment, Todd became intrigued after learning Ross once had a romantic fling with Manpreet Sharma. Wanting to prove she was in control, Todd invited Mackenzie Boyd and Ross over for a darts game, while questioning both men about their relationships. Later, Charity confronted Todd in the pub toilets and demanded she back off. However, it quickly became clear that Charity had lost control of the situation, leaving Todd firmly in charge. As the villain continues tormenting Charity, many viewers have recognized actress Caroline Harker from earlier television appearances. Throughout her acting career, Caroline has appeared in several British TV dramas and films, including A Touch of Frost, Keeping Mum, and Doctors. Some soap fans also remembered her role in the 1990s comedy sketch show Harry Enfield and Chums. In the programme, she famously played the mother of the toddler characters portrayed by Harry Enfield and Kathy Burke. One surprised viewer wrote on a Facebook fan page that they were watching reruns of the comedy show and suddenly realised Dr Todd was the toddler's mum. Another fan said they instantly recognised her voice, while others admitted they finally understood where they knew her from. One viewer joked that they preferred Caroline's earlier comedy role to her current villainous soap character. Speaking on ITV's This Morning last week, actress Emma Atkins teased that Dr Todd's storyline is only going to become more intense. She explained that the plot still has a long way to go and hinted that Charity's secret will eventually be exposed. Emma also suggested things are set to become much darker as Todd becomes more involved in village life and starts interacting with Vanessa. Emmerdale viewers are set to see Dawn Taylor face terrifying danger as Joe Tate and Graham Foster secretly prepare to stop her once and for all. The latest scenes, taken from the May 19th episode, available on ITVX and YouTube ahead of its ITV1 broadcast, reveal that Joe Tate is far more aware of Dawn's betrayal than she realizes. Dawn has spent weeks plotting against Joe after discovering he had lied to her for months and caused pain to several villagers. Determined to ruin him, she joined forces with Kane Dingle and Maura Dingle in a plan to strip Joe of everything he owns. The drama intensified after Joe interrupted an argument between Dawn and Belle Dingle. Once Belle left the room, Dawn casually mentioned wanting to purchase Take a Vow so she would no longer have to work with a Dingle. Joe immediately offered her a huge amount of money to buy Belle out, and Dawn eagerly accepted. Later, at Wishing-Well, Dawn updated Belle and Moira about the situation, with the trio stunned at how smoothly their scheme was progressing. A few days afterward, Joe attempted to reassure Dawn that he would treat all of her children equally after their baby arrives. To prove it, he arranged trust funds for Clemmy, Lucas, Evan, and their unborn child. Although Dawn was touched by the gesture, she also saw it as another chance to gain access to more of Joe's fortune. At this stage, Joe appeared completely unaware of the plot against him and seemed focused only on building a future with Dawn. However, events took an unusual turn in Tuesday's episode when Joe unexpectedly acted friendly toward Billy Fletcher. He suggested the pair should move on from their past problems and even invited Billy over for dinner in an attempt to clear the air. The strange behavior left Dawn unsettled, but instead of backing away from the scheme, she became more determined to finish it. That evening, Dawn told Joe she needed additional money to expand her business plans, and he quickly agreed to transfer the cash. Throughout the day, Joe repeatedly spoke about how excited he was to marry Dawn and become a father again. His sudden kindness seemed completely out of character, yet Dawn failed to notice anything suspicious. After Dawn went upstairs to help Clemmy with homework, Joe shared a private conversation with Graham Foster. During the exchange, it was revealed that both men have known about Dawn and Moira's plot for a long time. Graham warned Joe that they needed to stop Dawn's plan permanently, although it became clear the two men may have very different ideas about what that means. Before the week is over, upcoming scenes will show Graham discovering Dawn unconscious at the bottom of the stairs. As he prepares to call for help, Joe suddenly appears. Graham demands to know what Joe has done, raising fears that Joe may have taken revenge by putting the life of his pregnant partner in serious danger. Emmerdale viewers will see a dramatic twist for Dawn Fletcher as Joe Tate discovers the truth about her secret scheme in scenes now streaming on ITVX. Dawn has been working alongside Moira Dingle in an attempt to drain Joe of his fortune, but she has no idea that Joe and Graham Foster already know exactly what she is planning behind the scenes. Tuesday's episode shows Dawn struggling with guilt after seeing a softer and more thoughtful side of Joe. Joe makes an effort to rebuild bridges with Dawn's former partner, Billy Fletcher, by welcoming him back into the family and treating Dawn with unexpected kindness through a heartfelt gift. His behavior leaves Dawn conflicted, forcing her to admit that he may not be as terrible as she first believed. Feeling uncertain, Dawn opens up to Moira about her doubts regarding the plan. Moira suggests it may be wiser for Dawn to leave with the children before the situation spirals further out of control. However, after taking time to think things through, Dawn decides she wants revenge and vows to take every last penny from Joe instead of running away. What Dawn fails to realize is that Joe and Graham have been carefully monitoring her every move. Her meetings with Moira at Wishingwell Cottage have not gone unnoticed. During a private conversation at Home Farm, Graham praises Dawn's acting skills while revealing that both he and Joe are fully aware of the betrayal taking place behind Joe's back. Although Joe appears willing to stay patient and wait for events to unfold, Graham worries that his approach could lead to more emotional pain. He warns Joe that the situation cannot continue much longer and insists they need to stop Dawn and Moira permanently. The tension escalates later this week when Dawn is discovered unconscious at the bottom of the staircase inside Home Farm. Graham is the first person to find her and is shocked to notice Joe standing suspiciously nearby at the top of the stairs. The discovery raises serious questions about whether Joe may have acted on Graham's warnings in a far more dangerous way than expected. Meanwhile, trouble also continues for Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle, whose lives have been filled with chaos since moving into the former Dingle farm. Emmerdale airs on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available for streaming on ITVX.